Well, hello, Cassidy.
Hello, hello.
I want to show you a pretty crazy game today. How do you feel about that?
That sounds amazing.
Well, I'd wait because crazy to me might be a little bit different than what you believe it is, and it's sort of weird. Magrunner, Dark Pulse. It reminds me a lot of Portal, and I think you'll feel the same way as
Yeah,
well.
it looks a lot like Portal.
Right.
Yeah.
I've made my way through it for a little bit. I don't want to give too much away, so I'll probably start off a little early on. Introductory integration. We'll do that. But this is a game by Frogwares and Focus Media Interactive. It's $19.99 on Steam right now. Released a couple of days ago. It's got a pretty good look to it. But again, how similar this is to
Gamaji,
Portal
are they off the
is,
comm?
Yes.
well,
There's something wrong.
it's a bit
with that
disturbing.
cylinder guy.
Yeah, I'm looking at the looking at the reticle in the middle of the screen right now, and it looks exactly like that.
Yeah,
She's
it
kind of a pain.
that's what I mean.
Looking for an
Mhm.
insect.
So there's
Lucas better look good.
more of a focus on narrative this time around. Portal tried to be very whimsical, lighthearted, and there was more charm behind
Is
it.
this part of the
Did it?
training?
Yeah, well, I thought so. Didn't you?
I don't know. I thought Portal was kind of dark, like the first one, especially. That's one of my all-time favorite games. Like, I just remember like the first few test chambers, because I went into that game not knowing much about it. And, like playing the first few test chambers, I'm like, oh, this is fun puzzles, and then you find like bloody handprints on the wall and like
minor power
notes written by crazy people. I thought it was kind of dark. Like, it was kind of like dark humor, I guess.
Right, yeah, but at the same time, it's something that you can laugh about. It wasn't. This really is trying to go in that dark direction. I believe they called it Portal mixed with Cthulhu.
Oh,
Yeah, you'll see what I mean here in a little bit. So, beginning of the game,
quite the mashup.
yeah, this whole thing, it's based off of magnetics. So if I fire, I can turn something red, and then if I press the right mouse button, it'll actually turn green. That orb right there signifies like where the polarity stops. So, yeah, like objects attract. And then if I want to go up or just change things, I make one red. And that's
Interesting.
And that's the basics of the game for the most part. So why don't we see exactly what I can do here? We're gonna want to go up. You saw that mutant creature talking to me on my whatever gun that is.
Yeah. So is it like, what's the premise of this game? Like, does it have, how does it work here?
So right now you're a child prodigy. There's some kind of experiment that's going on right now. This is brand new technology, and 7 people in the entire world were brought to this chamber just to see who's worthy of like going into space. And some things go wrong, obviously.
This sounds like somebody read Ender's Game and played Portal concurrently. Yeah, that sounds cool.
These blocks are pretty important. Yeah, actually, I think I went the wrong way. I have done this one puzzle already. Everything that you can pick up like this, I can't shoot it like in Half-Life 2, but you can mess with all the polarities with these things. Okay, so I was supposed to go down here. Let's see. You're gonna love this part. So I'm curious to hear what you have to say about the visuals in general. Yeah. What do you think of it, besides being very reminiscent of Portal?
Well, I think it looks really nice. Like, it has its Portal quirks, but I think it actually has a look all its own as well. This looks much more... Portal was a lot more sterile. Like, it felt like more of a lab, where this feels a little bit more... I don't know, like... I want to say organic, but it feels like it's a little bit more rounded. It feels like it's a little softer than Portal does. I like the look of it, actually. This is PC only, right?
It is, yeah. At least right now. I'm not sure if it's coming to consoles.
I don't know. For some reason, it kind of reminds me of Sanctum.
Yeah, you know
weird
what? It sort of
Sanctum
does.
Yeah.
that tame, hyper-futuristic look where things might be menacing, but they're not really.
Right. Yeah.
Alright, so now I brought that block over there. Not sure if you saw me propel myself across the chasm.
I did.
Yeah. It gets a lot more complicated, which is a good thing. I've got a soft spot for certain puzzle games.
Do they ever have like enemies or anything in here?
Well, that's why I said a mixture of Portal mixed with Cthulhu, which is how they were advertising it. You'll see coming up here.
Okay.
All right.
Some sea creature monsters going on here.
There is a story though, and it seems pretty important. I still don't really fully know what's going on.
We've suffered a minor technical glitch, but
See, bad things are happening.
How many hours do you put into this game now so far?
I put in about 2 hours.
Not exactly a solid recommendation for a new product.
I've heard it's not very long.
Hold on, Dax. Something's changed in the algorithm.
This guy he's something else.
The system now shows a reboot.
What?
Holding his coffee.
Gamaji, did you hack into the testing facility?
Hollow
Like
keyboard.
Interface is amazing.
Like a boss.
It integrates.
Wasn't
all
the iPhone
functions and
5 supposed to have some
accessibility
kind
of
of
the
hollow
LifeNet with his
keyboard thing like
response
this,
to
and just never
influence
came
the lab
out?
tech.
Oh, I'm sure we'll have something like that from Apple in 5 to 10 years, no doubt.
He thinks I'm just another
Sending
peripheral.
text messages with your brain.
No, he's blocked me.
As much as people might think it's
he's
a
too busy with
bash to
other
say, hey, this is very similar to Portal, as we've said a million times already, I actually find it somewhat refreshing, just for the fact that games copy each other all the time. And getting another puzzle platformer of that magnitude actually
More
excites me in a lot of
This
ways.
would be a bad time for the power to go
Well,
out again.
there's a saying in writing and in literature, especially, they say that there's no such thing as a new story, just new ways of telling it, and that carries over to, I think, all forms of entertainment media, and games are not an exception to that at all. I mean, there's really, you think about it, there's only so many ways to reinvent the wheel, and after a while, it's just what's your take on it.
Right.
No, it's not an insult at all. If anything, it's a compliment, because Portal, I think, is one of the greatest games of the generation. So if you take that and you say, hey, this is like Portal, like, that's a good thing. I would say.
Alright, so the object is to get up here and it'll shoot me over. Oh, look! There's a block right there that I'm going to need to get. Alright, let's jump up. Yeah, at first I didn't think there was going to be any kind of enemies at all. So, to my surprise, that is not how things worked.
Huh.
Alright, come on. It's kind of cool, with all this stuff going on, they are magnetized and then not. It's interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm kind of digging the magnet thing. That's kind of cool. It's different, It's not
Alright.
gravity. It's not time manipulation. I like that idea.
Okay, so we're going to be here. It should bring that down. See, I think that's pretty awesome. I love just manipulating the environments like this. And there we
yeah.
are.
Woo!
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah. I'm getting a flavor of Quantum Conundrum from this too. It might just be the colors, but
So funny enough, I actually haven't played that game yet. I've heard great things from it.
it's good. First-person platforming is tricky. It's it's not always smooth, just because you don't have quite the same feel, I guess, as you would in a third-person game where you're platforming and you're jumping around. But and that's probably, I would say, its biggest weakness, is it feels kind of weird when you're jumping and you're moving around like that. But no, it's fine. It's totally cute. It's totally interesting. It's it apes a lot from Portal, but it's good.
Now that's one of those games that really is lighthearted.
Well done, Daxi Ward.
Yeah,
Congratulations
it's a very
on
cute,
being
whimsical, kind of upbeat game.
Oh, goodness.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay. So that stopped working. No worries though. I'll Load that back up again. Indie games, right? It's usually how it goes. But I think you get the gist of it so far. Why don't we?
No, for sure.
Yeah, why don't we jump into one of those other levels where I had mentioned the whole Cthulhu thing.
I don't want to see this now. Some sort of mutants wander into this chamber.
It's $20.
Is that like?
Huh?
It's like a glove, right? That's not a gun.
Right, yeah, your character actually created that when he was like 15 years old.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, it was something like
Power
that.
glove.
Power glove. Yeah.
Excellent.
Why don't we go ahead and do this? I believe this is the one where you're first introduced to a set of angries. Yep, here we go.
Is that what they call them, angries?
Yes.
Or are you just calling it that?
I'm just calling it that because I'm lame.
I was gonna say I would really like it. I would really like it if they called it angries.
7 souls who see
Getting pretty dark though, when you say.
Oh wow. I could see Rook Cthulhu could be drawn from that. Yeah.
Yeah.
7
Like freaky fish man going on here.
And this whole 7 souls thing. I still have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
But-
are they aliens or is that?
I don't know, I'm just gonna assume that these things were trapped in a dimension, just like that dark, gravelly voice said. And with 7 people here,
Huh.
they probably have to kill
Yeah, that
us
looks
to
like
free
a-
them.
The 7?
Yeah.
7 candidates?
That looks like a fish mixed with
Help!
like one of the Chimeran
We need
infected
help
from
down here.
Resistance. Interesting.
What is going on?
Alright, so while they're arguing, the first thing that you always want to do in this game is to find these wonderful blocks, because that's the key to pretty much everything.
Mr. Krugenberg, a malfunction in the system. The situation is under
Gotta make
control.
sure that you
I'm
look
trying to
around,
get us
see
back
what's
online.
up.
Online? What do you mean?
The
it
game
heavy?
really just it thrusts you into
Vicinity
it.
is cut
Uh-huh.
off. I can't get any signals from outside.
Does it
no
do?
life net, no cell.
Does it have like a companion cube feature, kind of like Portal did, or is
For
it
everyone's safety,
Not
remain
quite.
where you
a
are.
little less tongue in cheek?
Well, that's what I meant when I was saying that this just it seems like it's trying to hit a different crowd.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's kind of like I said before. It looks, it has flavors of and is reminiscent of games like Portal, but it has a look all its own too, from what I can gauge, which actually is pretty cool.
It does slowly roll out how you deal with brand new puzzles and such. Like you hardly see these things around until this level.
Okay.
As you can see, standing on this one button puts down this middle chamber. We're definitely gonna have to get over there, but this is where magnetism comes into play. And
Do they have any-
you can turn off the field too if that pisses you off. I like to leave it on though.
Why not? Does this game have any like user-generated content, like any levels that you can build yourself at all?
So far, no. It would seem like a great idea though, wouldn't it?
That would be really cool. Like share that on Steam.
Alright. You know what? I'll just leave that block there. You're gonna love this. Alright. And then presto changeo. And all of a sudden, there's a bridge there.
Excellent. Yeah, that's kind of neat actually. I kind of like that.
Dax, what's going on down
I like
there?
that idea
I heard
of
one of the
interacting
Magruners
with your
had been hurt.
I
environment.
don't know, Miss Shin. Yeah, someone got hurt.
different.
But I also saw some
And then
kind
one of these chambers
Mr.
too,
Ward,
while they're talking.
Please leave the room by
You
the
can put
appropriate
4 of
exit
those
until
blocks
we
in
resolve the
that I have
situation.
here, and it'll
Mission,
transform
please
into a
report
different
to the
block
media room.
that'll probably get you through another part of the puzzle.
Hmm.
Yeah, sometimes I've spent some time on these puzzles. You really overthink things, but all you really have to come back to is that, all right, so like, once I hit both of these buttons, obviously I'm gonna have to come over here. They put this tosser for a reason. And if I just if I shoot it out, nothing happens. But then again, I've got all these different polarities just running around here, so I probably have to turn some of them off.
See, that can be tough too, because you mentioned you tend to overthink things. That to me is that can be kind of not a troubling sign, but that can kind of be a problem for some puzzle games, because if it's not intuitive, then it means that it either hasn't introduced its rules well enough, or you just don't quite have the same sense that you should for the game to start with.
Right. I think that's a fair point. Plus, with just with two different polarities here, the green and the red, you think it's pretty simple, but then you put in all these different physics puzzles, launchers, whatever.
Right.
That's when it can get pretty daunting. Just think about it. Right now, if I shot that thing over there and it was green, it would reflect off of this one, or at least get pushed upward. So it'd probably go closer to where I need to be, right up there. I've tried some elaborate things, but since I already have everything, why don't we just go ahead and put these in here. When I originally started this puzzle, I thought I had to launch one of these little blocks into there, but I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't explore the
tough.
whole chamber.
Yeah, that's tough, because for a puzzle game to be, to feel intuitive and to really make sense at a base level, it has to set up a very clear set of rules and abide by those rules throughout. I don't know if this says that they're not introducing it well enough or what, but that's tough. That's probably one of the trickier parts, I think, of designing these games.
Yeah, it's a perfect balance that's hard to strike. That's for certain. Why don't we check up here real quick? But it's a cool little game. $20.
It does look really neat.
Yeah, I think that some people might think that it's a little pricey, $20 for a game like this. But then again, you could spend $60 and feel a whole lot worse about yourself.
$20 buys you dinner. This gets you a few more hours than that.
That's right.
That's how I look at it.
Oh, look at that.
Oh.
Pretty cool. Yeah, I like puzzles like this. It can get pretty dicey.
It looks like this has a lot more verticality to its levels too, from what I can gauge. Do you feel like that's accurate?
I think
going
so.
Up more? Yeah.
There's a couple of puzzles where you're bouncing, really high, and then you actually have to position yourself correctly. Like I thought at first I was doing something wrong. Like you saw me stand on one a couple of puzzles ago, and it launched me over to where I needed to be. I actually had to stand with my back to the wall, a little bit off, and then I was able to get up onto the platform. If you stand on it any other way, then you fall off.
Yeah, see, again, first-person platforming, it can get really tricky. It's kind of, you don't have that same feel for it, because you can't see it, you can't feel it. There's a disconnect there.
Maji!
It does look cool, though.
He's very wrong here.
Oh, goodness.
Stay calm. That's the
And you know what? I think this is going to be a pretty good place to end it. Don't want to spoil too much. Now that you know there's
Somebody's
other
dead
monsters
here.
and such, it's
And
not
now
just a
the whole place
Portal
is shaking
rip-off to
apart.
some people.
Dead.
I think it's a pretty cool spin on this
get someplace
formula.
safe.
We haven't seen anything
We'll
since
figure this out.
Portal 2, really.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It looks like I like what they're doing with the magnets versus, again, like time manipulation or messing with gravity or something like a lot of other puzzle games will do. And it looks unique. It looks, I would give it a shot, actually. It looks pretty cool.
Alright, well, thanks for joining me, Cassidy. This is Magrunner Dark Pulse. $20!